Hello everyone. So as you can see the topic, so the topic for today's lecture is nutrition. Okay, so today we'll discuss about one of the life processes, that is nutrition. Okay, yeah. So first of all, what is life processes? So the basic functions performed by all the living organisms to maintain their life on earth are called as life processes. Okay, so life processes are the basic functions which is performed by the living organisms to maintain their life on earth. Okay, and what are the different types of life processes, basic life processes? Let's check it out. The first is movement. Okay, movement is an action by an organism or part of an organism causing a change of position or place. Then the next one is respiration. Okay, so it is the chemical reactions in the cell that break down nutrient molecules and release energy for metabolism. The next life process is sensitivity. Okay, it is the ability to detect and sense stimuli in the environment and accordingly make responses. Okay, and the fourth life process is growth. Growth is a permanent increase in size, or we can say the cell number or cell size. Okay, or both. Then the next process is reproduction. Reproduction is the process of making more of the same type of organisms, okay, or giving birth to the offsprings. Then the next process is excretion, and excretion is removal of the waste products of the metabolism from the body. Okay, and the last one is nutrition. So nutrition is taking in of materials for energy, growth and development. Okay, so for this plants require light, carbon dioxide, water, ions, minerals, etc. Okay, so we'll be discussing about nutrition particularly. Okay, so let's begin. So what is nutrition? Nutrition is the process of intake of nutrients. Okay, the process of intake of nutrients by an organism and the utilization of these nutrients. Okay, not only is the intake important, but also the proper utilization of nutrients is also important. Okay, so this process is known as nutrition. Now what is a nutrient? A nutrient is a substance which an organism obtains from its surroundings and uses it as a source of energy, okay, or for the synthesis of body constituents. Some examples of nutrients are carbohydrates, fats, proteins, etc. Okay, yeah. Now let us see what are the different modes of nutrition. First of all, what is a mode? What is the meaning of mode of nutrition? So mode of nutrition means the method of obtaining food by an organism. Okay, the way in which an organism obtains its food is known as mode of nutrition. There are two modes of nutrition, as you can see, autotrophic and heterotrophic. Okay, yeah. So let's first discuss about the autotrophic mode of nutrition. So autotrophic, it is made up of two words, auto and troph. Auto means self and troph means nutrition. Okay, so autotrophic nutrition is the mode of nutrition in which the organisms makes or synthesizes its own food from simple inorganic materials and water present in the surroundings. Okay, and with the help of sunlight energy. Yeah. So in autotrophic nutrition, the organisms can prepare their own food, okay, make or prepare their own food, and these organisms are known as autotrophs. Okay, so some examples of autotrophs are all the green plants and autotrophic bacteria. Yeah, and the process by which they make their food is known as photosynthesis. Okay, so please note that the process is known as photosynthesis. Yeah. So we know that all green plants, they follow the autotrophic mode of nutrition. So let's see the nutrition in plants. Okay, so we know that the process by which the autotrophs prepare their food is known as photosynthesis. So let's know about photosynthesis in details. Okay, so what is photosynthesis? The autotrophs take in carbon dioxide and water and convert these into carbohydrates in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. So this process is known as photosynthesis. Okay, and also here the equation of photosynthesis is given. Kindly note it down. Okay, so it is the equation that is 6CO2 plus 12H2O in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll gives us glucose, that is C6H12O6, and water and oxygen. Okay, so from the equation you can clearly make out that the raw materials for the photosynthesis are sunlight, chlorophyll, carbon dioxide and water. Okay, and what are the byproducts then? What is the product and byproduct? The product is glucose and the byproducts are water and oxygen. Okay, fine. Okay, now let's know about the site of photosynthesis, like where the photosynthesis takes place. So chloroplast in the leaves contain chlorophyll, which traps the sunlight energy and helps in the process of photosynthesis. So basically we can say that the site of photosynthesis in plants is the leaf. Okay, yeah. Now let's check out the main events of photosynthesis. Okay, first of all, absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. So the very first step is the chlorophyll absorbs the light energy from the sunlight. Okay, then conversion of light energy into chemical energy plus splitting of water into hydrogen and oxygen. Then the light energy gets converted into chemical energy and the water molecule gets split into hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, then reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. Okay, so these are the three main events in the process of photosynthesis. Now let's see the significance of photosynthesis. Okay, so the very first significance is that it is the main way through which solar energy is made available to the living organisms. Okay, through the process of photosynthesis, the solar energy is made available to the living organisms. Like firstly it is used by the plants, then when the plants are consumed by other organisms, it is transferred to other organisms also. Okay, so this way the solar energy is made available to different living organisms. Okay, yeah. So the next significance is green plants are the main producers of food in the ecosystem, and all other organisms directly or indirectly depend on the green plants for food. Got it? Yeah. And the last significance is, the last point is, the process of photosynthesis helps in maintaining the balance of carbon dioxide and oxygen in the air. Okay, so we all know that plants help in the purification of the air. How? Because they maintain the balance of carbon dioxide and oxygen in air. Yeah. So in the diagram you can see the process of photosynthesis is very clearly explained. Like first of all, the light is trapped by the chlorophyll present in the leaf. Then the water is absorbed from the roots. Okay, and the carbon dioxide enters into the leaves through the stomata. So the leaf converts the light energy into starch, like the extra food. Light energy is converted into chemical energy, and the water molecule is broken down into hydrogen and oxygen. So the oxygen is given off into the air, and the food is and the glucose, that is the sugar, is converted into starch, which is stored in the form of starch. Okay, yeah. Now let's know about the stomata. Okay, stomata are actually the tiny pores which is present in the epidermis of leaf. Okay, and with the help of stomata, the gaseous exchange and the transpiration occurs in the plant body. Okay, now opening and closing of stomatal pores. Like, when does the stomatal pores open and close? The opening and closing of stomatal pores is controlled by the turgidity of guard cells. Okay, like turgidity of guard cells mean, like, when the guard cells they uptake the water from the surrounding cells, they become they get swollen. Okay, they swell, so they become turgid, and thus the stomatal they swell, which causes the pore to enlarge or open. Okay, so this is known as stomatal opening. And when the water is released, they again shrink to their original size, and thus the pore again becomes smaller or it closes. So this is known as stomatal closing. Okay, now let's know about the functions of stomata. So the very first function is exchange of gases, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide. Then loses large amount of water vapor during transpiration. Okay, so during the process of transpiration, it helps to throw out the excess water vapor from the plant body. Okay, yeah. Now the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So the heterotrophic word is made up of two words, heteros and troph. Okay, heteros means other and troph means nutrition. So the mode of nutrition in which an organism takes food from the other organism is known as heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, heterotrophic nutrition is further divided into three types. These are saprophytic, holozoic and parasitic nutrition. Okay, let's see what are these. First of all, saprophytic nutrition. The nutrition in which an organism obtains its food from the dead decaying organic matter is known as saprophytic nutrition. Okay, and the organisms are called saprophytes. And the examples are fungi and other bacteria. They follow the saprophytic mode of nutrition. Okay, yeah. And the next is parasitic nutrition. Okay, the nutrition in which the organism derives its food from the body of other living organism without killing it is known as parasitic mode of nutrition. Okay, so the organism which derives the food from other organism is known as a parasite, and the organism from which the parasite derives its nutrition is called the host. Okay, yeah. Some examples are cuscuta and roundworms. Okay, and the last one is holozoic nutrition. So in this type of nutrition, the organism takes the complex organic food materials in its body in its body, and then it digests it and absorbs the nutrients. Okay, so the examples of organisms following holozoic nutrition are human beings and other animals. Okay, yeah. So now let's see the nutrition in animals. Firstly, we have read about the nutrition in plants. Now we'll see the nutrition in animals. Okay, firstly let's see the nutrition in amoeba. We all know that amoeba is a unicellular animal and it follows holozoic mode of nutrition. Okay, yeah. So let's see the steps of holozoic nutrition. The first step is ingestion. That is, the process of taking in the food is known as ingestion. The next step is digestion. In this process, the complex food substances are broken down into simple molecules, okay, and they are absorbed by the body. And the third step is absorption. As I told, that the broken down simple molecules are absorbed by the body, okay, and this process is known as absorption. The fourth step is assimilation. In this process, the digested food is utilized like for energy and for growth or repair, and this is known as assimilation. And the last step is digestion. So whatever undigested or the waste materials produced after the digestion, then it is removed from the body, and this process is known as digestion. Okay, so here below in the diagram you can see the different steps of nutrition in amoeba. Okay, yeah. Now let's see the nutrition in human beings. Okay, I have inserted a picture, a diagram, to make it more convenient for you. Firstly, in human beings, the digestive system begins with the mouth. Okay, so the function of mouth is it breaks down food into smaller pieces and mixes with saliva. Okay, then comes the next part, that is the esophagus. Okay, the next part of the alimentary canal is esophagus. It is a muscular tube down which the food travels from the mouth to the stomach. Okay, yeah. And the next part is the stomach. It secretes juices that that helps in the digestion. Okay, and then after the stomach comes the small intestine. Like small intestine is the main site where the food is digested, and after that is the large intestine. The main function of large intestine is to absorb water from the digestive waste, like whatever the food has been digested is passed to the large intestine for the absorption of water. Okay, and the last part is the rectum. It stores the waste material until it leaves the body or it is excreted through the body from the body through the anus. Okay, so the last end is the anus. Now we have also some other organs in our digestive system, like the liver. Okay, liver. The function of liver is to produce bile, and it processes the nutrients obtained from the food. And below the liver we have the gallbladder. It stores the bile. Okay, the bile juice. And again we have another organ known as the pancreas. Okay, so they secrete the enzymes into the small intestine. Okay, so we have seen the different parts of our digestive system or the alimentary canal, and we have also learned about their functions in brief. So now here is a detailed function of the different parts of the digestive system. Let's check it out. The first one is the mouth. Okay, so it begins the digestive tract, and the digestion starts here. As I told earlier, the foods are taken into the body and chewed here in order for them to be swallowed easily. Okay, yeah. So similarly, the esophagus. Okay, it has the muscles which allow it to perform the muscular contractions. Okay, and this muscular contractions is known as peristalsis, and this movement helps the food to pass through the alimentary canal and go to the stomach. Okay, so and the stomach is the pear-shaped organ. Okay, the stomach is the pear-shaped organ which secretes the digestive juices. Okay, which secretes the digestive juices and partially digests the food. and it holds the food temporarily while the other enzymes are produced and the further breakdown takes place. Okay, the protein digestion begins here. Next is the pancreas. Okay, it is the gland found behind the stomach, and it also secretes the digestive enzymes, as we have seen in the previous slide. And the pancreatic juice contains the digestive enzymes, yeah, and they help in the breakdown of protein, fats and carbohydrates. Okay, the next part is the liver. It produces bile and is secreted into the small intestine. The bile plays in the role of fat digestion. Okay, plays a role in the digestion of fat. The next part is the duodenum. Okay, the duodenum is the first part of the small intestine, and here the digestion of starch, protein and fats take place. Then the whole small intestine, it is actually located between the stomach and the large intestine. Okay, and as we have seen previously, that duodenum is the initial part of the small intestine. It has two more parts known as the jejunum and ileum. So the juices secreted by the small intestine helps in the complete digestion of food. Okay, complete digestion of food. And then comes the large intestine. It is the largest part of the digestive system, and it is made up of the rectum, colon and cecum. Okay, so what happens after the digestion of food? The water remains, the excessive water remains in the digested food. So this excessive water is again absorbed by the large intestine. Okay, and yeah, and then comes the rectum. So it connects the colon to the anus, and it receives the undigested matter or the waste material, which is known as stool. Okay, so it holds the stool for some period of time. Okay, and then the last part is the anus. Okay, so this is the opening at the end of alimentary canal. The undigested food, which is known as the stool, leaves the body through anus. Okay, so that's it. I hope you all clearly understood the different modes of nutrition and the nutrition process of plants and animals. Okay, so that's all. Thank you.